doing some more Mace the Dark Age today, and I gotta tell you, it is a big important time to break out. As you can see, the Game Shark for the first time. I think for the first time, I didn't really use the Game Shark. I've used codes, but I didn't use the Game Shark. And being a 1990s arcade ported fighter, you can probably imagine that this game's a bit of a dick sometimes. It's very difficult, and most of the things that are unlockable in it as secrets and other cool stuff to see, you're not going to be able to see without. First of all, you can't save. Most fighting games from this period are that way. Um, yeah, let's put in the codes and everything. I'm just gonna show off the codes. Most fighting games from the period, of course, don't have any save function on the N64 cartridge at all. It's a little bit ridiculous. But then again, the only thing you'd really be saving is your any characters that you unlocked, and that's why they have codes in them, and you can just put them in any given time. That's why they make them that way. However, the Game Shark also lets you do, things that you might need to actually be able to beat the game and not feel like it's completely fucking you all the time, completely destroying you, because it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculously hard game, and it's just the way that those fighters are built. If you ever played any Mortal Kombat game in an arcade on a real machine, it's ridiculous. So what I've opted to do is take you on a run with my buddy Lord Deimos, definitely the coolest character in the game, and they've realized that, and that's why they put him on the front cover and everything. And I actually did a run as Takeshi earlier, and I had a different cheat on. I'm upset that there's no infinite continues cheat, because at least I could turn on infinite continues and still have to beat everybody, which is what I did, I think, with most fighting games. I think I did that with Dark Rift. Like, I did my one run of Dark Rift, and I actually had to beat everybody once at least. With this, I can't really do that. I'm trying to figure out a special move. He's just mostly just bashing him with this fucking sword. There's two options for you to do sort of like cheat and Mace the Dark Age to help you out in finishing the game. One of them is the one that I did earlier, which is press the Z trigger, which isn't something that you're going to press by accident, because I'm holding it like this. Press the Z trigger and you get an instant kill on your opponent. And so I kind of would just fight and go until I would basically then die, and then I would use it. That way I didn't have to go through my continues and worry about making a mistake and actually using the thing, because it's not always instantaneous. I'll tell you that much. It would result in a couple draws, actually, because I would hit the trigger right as the last blow was hit on me, and it would just result in a victory for both people. The other one is the one I'm doing right now, which is infinite health, and that's never really a legitimate way to play a game, and I know that. But at the very least, when you get to the boss characters, the thing about the boss characters is they're difficult not because they're just that much better at fighting than you. They basically just get to block everything that you throw at them, no problem whatsoever. And they're really too big to evade. So at the very least, the difficulty comes in being able to actually hit them at all and have it do any damage. So that in and of itself, even if you aren't going to take any damage yourself, is still a bit of a challenge. So that's what I'm going for right here. So I figured it would be a better option. And that's the first special move I've been able to pull off with him all day, and it looked badass. He just when you're hitting grounders to little kids out on the baseball field, he's just come on, grab that. Alright, 5 balls up. That's what he did. And that's hardcore.
Lord Deimos. Round 1, fight.
I was thinking to myself when I was looking at this guy too. If you go on any regular run with any character whatsoever, you probably noticed if you watched the last video, all of the ladders are the same. It doesn't change up whatsoever. So if you pick Mortal's Call, you're gonna fight Mortal's Call first, no matter what. If you pick Lord Deimos, you fight Lord Deimos 10. You fight every character in the same order every time. It's a little bit weird. The only thing that I know for sure that always happens, it probably happens all the time, but I'd prefer it be randomized, but I know that happens in Smash Brothers because there's a set path that they go through on that with the challenges and stuff. We all know that. But, god damn. He moves so slowly. He moves as slowly as you expect a guy this size to move in a fighting game. I'm not able to really work with that because I never block. If you ever watch me play any fighting game, you'll know I basically never block because I suck and I'm way too focused on hitting people. So the last three characters are Lord Deimos, who is, like, in and of himself a boss character, because by that point, he's the hardest of the regular characters. And then after that is Grendel, who I mentioned before. And then after that is the person who's even more prominent in the story, which is Asmodeus, who's a big, hulking demon motherfucker. And that's why it gets so difficult at the end. He just blocks you on the limb, and whenever he feels like it, picks you up, throws you, takes out a third of your health bar. It's not easy. So that's in the arcades what separates the boys from the men, and when it comes to fighting games, I am a boy. That is just the truth. So David Ortiz swing popping here. Mike is here, and seriously, this guy swings his sword like a baseball bat. I swear to God, It's kind of that weird, you know what, I picked up Star Wars Masters of Terras Kasi, whatever the fuck you say it. I picked that game up last week, and I know one of the things about that game is it's a fighting game with lightsabers, where the lightsabers basically just bonk off people's heads, when they're supposed to be portrayed as, you know, white hot beams of plasma that can cut through anything, but in Terras Kasi, they have the same exact effect as this person's massive red-hot sword has in this game, where he can basically take a haymaker cut and smack someone right in the side of the head, and it just kind of goes, like, bonk. Like, he's swinging a stick, but it's got the aesthetic of a sword, and it's just kind of funny. Lightsaber fill must need new batteries, basically. Yeah. That's Mike. It's just got a light on, there's nobody home now. I need to check out this guy's special moves, because I feel like such a dork doing this. I've let 2 matches already end on timeouts because everyone keeps blocking me because he's so slow. And oh, what I was gonna say, you know who he reminds me of is Nightmare from Soul Calibur. He's got basically the same thing because he's like a boss character. He looks like a boss character. He's portrayed that way. But you can play him from the start, and he has his own story, and he has his own thing. So he's accessible to everybody in the game, and he's kind of like, if you want to jump into the game and you don't know who to pick, you probably pick him. So he's not special. He's just he's the mascot, and 2, he's kind of portrayed as the most badass anyway because they picked him as the mascot. I put in my Instagram post. Today when I was talking about it. Like, this guy definitely has a wallet that says "bad motherfucker" on it, and he didn't buy it for the novelty. It was like given to him. But Mike made a comment about the loading screen with the heads on the pikes. I think that's really cool too. And also, if you didn't notice, the defeated characters, their heads are down at the bottom of the screen there, which is pretty cool too. It's not particularly gory, but that loading screen is really good for adding to the whole aesthetic that I really like, which is that this is usually Mortal Kombat like levels of gore and violence, and it's done, I think, particularly well aesthetically. Everything that I like about this game, that I like better than other games that are like it mostly comes down to the aesthetic of it. I think it's so cool and it works out. Whereas Biofreaks, War Gods, Dark Rift, they all were just incredibly cheesy, and I didn't like it at all. I do think this game plays better, but most of the reason I like it is because of the characters, the environment, and the overall aesthetic is so much better. To answer your question, like, no, this is not the guy who just blocks everything. We'll get there. He's much more intimidating. I was talking to Mike earlier about this. The reason it's such a pain in the ass is it's designed with bosses that are far too big and too good at what they do. They just block you at a way. But this is not the guy I'm talking about. There's Grendel, and then there's Asmodeus afterwards, like I said. And yeah, Asmodeus. Sweet nightmare.
Lord Deimos. Round 1, fight.
Another thing, since I mentioned Soul Calibur, and Soul Calibur is really gonna, if you haven't noticed, it's gonna come up a lot in here because there were only so many like weapons-based fighting games. Another game that actually predated this was Weapon Lord by Namco as well. So Namco made Weapon Lord, and they made Soul Calibur, and they still make Soul Calibur pretty much. But what I mentioned before about this guy's weapon and about in Star Wars Masters of Terrace Kasi, about how there's like no impact on the weapons, even though they're supposed to be like red hot blades and the lightsabers are lightsabers. Soul Calibur is incredibly good at conveying a sense of like impact when you hit somebody, even though it's not gonna like slice them open, because Soul Calibur is not a bloody game. So even though people like, I'll take for example, Mitsurugi is kind of the mascot of that game, and he's a samurai-looking character, and he has a big sword. He hits people with the sword. They don't bleed, but it feels like there's been a huge, like, hard-hitting impact being made. It's not something that you get out of games from before. So that includes it. That includes, from what I remember, Weapon Lord. I've never really played Weapon Lord very much. But I will say it does, I mean, it's the same kind of impact that you feel, though, when you play a different midway fighting game like Primal Rage or Mortal Kombat, maybe. Like I say, maybe no, you know what it's like? It's like Tekken. Like Tekken, even the punches in Tekken, they have. So Namco's just good at doing it. That's it. Tekken. Yeah, that's it. Namco is just good all around at conveying that sense of impact when you hit somebody. That's the conclusion that I had to arrive at, realizing that Tekken is the closest game to it.
Round 1, fight.
I really wanted to have the Lord Deimos run be the most fun thing, but it's kind of a grind because everybody blocks everything because he's so slow. Which is, it's not a knock necessarily against the game because there are characters that are meant to be played like that, and this is clearly him and Ragnar, the Viking guy, are clearly the two guys in this game that are meant to be the most heavy, slowest hardest hitting guys. And Nightmare is that way in Soul Calibur. He literally carries the Soul Edge, and the Soul Edge is bigger than most of the people he's attacking with it, so. And when I was using Takeshi before, he was kind of an average. He was, I mean, I say this because they're both samurai characters, but Takeshi was kind of the Mitsurugi of this game. He was the most average. And I think I was playing Koyasha at one point, and Koyasha was quick. He was kind of like an Ivy or a Talia. What was that? Oh! You know what I think? I think this guy's kind of like, he's kind of like a Goldberg type character for this game. Because if you notice, he doesn't really do combos. Like, I can get a hit on somebody, but he's so slow, he's not doing anything like combos or anything like that. He's just banked so hard on his imposing figure that he doesn't actually know how to fight. He's putting it all in his weaponry and how he's portrayed. Exactly what this guy's got going on. Unlike Goldberg, though, actually. Who's next? Who is next? Is it Koyasha? No, that's Koyasha over there. It's Ragnar is ninth. Arashi. So, if Goldberg got in a squash match against, like, Jinder Mahal tonight, or not tonight, but Monday night or something. That's kind of mean to Arashi. He's not Jinder Mahal. He's way better than Jinder Mahal. Rest. I really want to play the WCW game that's coming up pretty soon. I can't wait for it, honestly. Because I'm gonna get really into it, and I'm gonna be glad to play like one of the really good games first too. Oh my fucking god! I don't know if I'd get past like the first opponent. I don't know if I'd get past Mortal Skull if I was actually playing this with Loki. Yeah. It's still one.
Round 2, fight.
Yeah, that's that move I like to do, and I've only been able to do it like 3 times. I think everybody seems to have at least one throw in this game. I'm not sure if there's a one button press, one button input for everybody's throw, but I'm pretty sure that's the way this is. Yeah. Goldberg versus Kofi. Yeah, because Arashi's very quick. Yeah, it's like a Kofi Kingston versus Goldberg. Get Kofi to do the job for Goldberg at some point. Brock, this is what I'm gonna do. This is the WrestleMania match. This is Goldberg Brock right here. Wow. See, because Ragnar can actually move a little bit, but Goldberg would just be completely overwhelmed, realistically. If this were real, brother, if this were really real, do you think Goldberg would have a fucking chance? A 55-year-old man? How old is he? 49? 50? Something? I'm also glad to play the WCW game because there's no Goldberg in it! There's no Goldberg in World Tour. He wasn't a thing yet. He's 50. Yeah.
As of last December.
Great.
Just so you know.
Alright, now, oh yeah, two rounds. One thing I do tend to do in fighting games, especially ones that I'm not very well versed in, is in the options menu. I will usually kind of go to change the rounds to 1, so that I can kind of try and beat the game with a couple different people, and I only actually have to pull off 1 victory, as opposed to being required to string 2 victories together in a best of 3. Get off the high ground! Obi-Wan. I was like trying to think of what I was supposed to actually say at that point. All I could think of was Obi-Wan. It's over, Lord Deimos. I have the high ground. Time's almost up. God damn it, Anakin.
Lord Deimos versus Lord Deimos.
Lord Deimos.
Round 1, fight.
Get. Oh my god. It's a great sound effect, right? It sounds like one of the fake punch sound effects from like any movie. But no, it's someone being hit with a huge sword. Now, unfortunately, Lord Deimos is like the only guy in the whole game who won't produce any blood in his fights. I like how everybody has, you know, like I mentioned, the whole control scheme is quick, strong, and kick. And about half of the characters have way shorter reach with their kicks, and this is one of them. This is Lord Deimos. His reach is so short with his kick. Like his sword is like 8 feet long. It's. I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the perspective, but it looks like it's hard. And I should have put on Man in the Mirror. I agree, Mike. But in this, I really just want to get to the 2 bosses. That's what I want to do.
Excellent.
Sure. At least half of these matches have like gone to the full time limit. This is pretty fucking hilarious to me. All right. Now we're fighting. Now it's Grendel. Who is, I'll call him the Astaroth of this game because he's got a big hammer. Astaroth, I know in Soul Calibur 2 is hammer and an axe, but yeah. Oh yeah, and then there's this cool intro. I think they're pretty cool. The intro for Grendel, and there's an intro for, hey, he's a gargoyle. There's another intro for Asmodeus.
Round 1, fight.
Oh my god. What the fuck? I don't even know how to string together combos with this dude. Hey, it's 2. Not that I really hit him. Oh, like you're referring to the camera angle? Yeah. It's the weird, like, camera angle. Even Asmodeus, the intro for Asmodeus doesn't even have that. It's weird. I don't think it did. Yeah, take a seat. Jesus.
Round 2, fight.
Oh my god. Just stop it. This is still easy mode. Did everybody remember that? I still set it to easy mode. Because fuck this. Oh my god, it's not right. I swear, as much as I like the guy, like, Lord Deimos has got to be the worst character in this game. At least for the way I'm playing, because I'm complete garbage at this. Oh my god, you can't even get up! Just absolutely pummeling me. It's a little bit embarrassing for this guy. He's the cover boy and everything. Jesus. Whatever, just go to the boss fight. Let this end. Oh, I said Grendel was the Astaroth. Also, the Executioner was kind of the Astaroth. I don't know. It's got the axe. One of them's got a hammer, one of them's got the axe Astaroth, and Soul Calibur against both. Oh yeah, so this is the intro for Asmodeus. And I wonder if the frame rate's gonna drop. It's a little bit weird. Like come on, guys. Yeah, like the frame rate right there is like garbage. I just think this is so weird. Like the whole time I've been saying like, hey, at least the animation's good and not like cheap. And and here's Asmodeus. And I just realized that there's actually still gonna be the you know what's funny? He for the most part doesn't even have to block me. He actually can move faster than me. When I was Takeshi, I was moving quick enough and attacking quick enough that he was like, well, I'm gonna block everything. This is actually completely different. He's actually as big and massive as he is. He actually moves quick enough that he can just not even have to block half the attacks that should be blocked if I was anybody else. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna get him down to an empty health bar before the time runs out. Oh my god. He just counters everything though.
Round 2, fight.
Oh my god. Will you just stop it? What the fuck? This is easy mode, for God's sake. Count how many counterattacks he gets in this one round. It's already at least 3. I might have missed one. 4. And that's the one I was talking about. When I was Takeshi fighting him, he would block everything, and then whenever the fuck he felt like 5, 6. Whenever he felt like he would just grab me and whip me, and it would take out like a third of my health bar. 7. I'm not sure if I've really landed a clean hit on him. Like, to those little ones, that's 9. 9, right? 8 or 9. 10. Alright. Yeah. It was like hacking the side of a mountain. He's like brushes it off. But yeah, and every character gets a failure story, which is really cool. And every character also gets a ending. And is that it? No, it's not it. Unbridled evil power. The font choice has fucked me up on several occasions. That's better. Everyone else gets much longer stories. There's a lot of lore in this game that I don't really think gets mentioned. Europe and Arabia are unified, but under tortured despotic rule. Seemingly immortal, Deimos rules for centuries. It never recovers from the Dark Ages. Holy shit. That's ridiculous. That's brutal. Yeah. They space it out on those pages weird. I was like, I hope that Lord Deimos gets a real story. Oh. Enter your initials, mighty warrior. ASS.
Every time.
It's ASS for initials. And it's Thrill Ho or Thrill House, whatever fits. As much of Thrill House as I can fit on anything else. But, good stuff, good stuff. I'm going to give it the old college try with, most of the other characters. But I wanted to get a run-in as Lord Deimos, even though I knew, looking at him, I'm like, this is not going to go well. He's too fucking slow for me. You have to be able to block with a guy like that. So, yeah, this is, I really knocked it out in one day because it snowed today and I've been inside all day. And, yeah, Mace the Dark Age, give it a try, for sure. It's definitely a lot better than most of the other fighters on here, so, definitely give it a chance. You might like it for the same reasons I do. You might not like it, and I completely understand that. But personally, it doesn't get as much credit as it should. So thanks for watching. Next game is, I believe, Arrow Fighters Assault, which I have beaten before, but it doesn't mean I'm going to do particularly well. But stay tuned for that. Thank you, everybody. Have a good night.